Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In this video I would like to talk with you about the difference between street dogs and pet dogs. And I'm a dog mom to 3 rescue dogs. One is from a local charity, so he is a bred dog. He is a dog who has been a pet dog before. He's a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, American Staffordshire Terrier mix. And then I have these 2 sleeping beauties here. Well, one sleeping beauty, one is awake, Panda and Chalkie. And they are both street dogs or village dogs, as they are called as well. If you would like to know what village dogs are exactly, there will be another video about what village dogs actually are and how fabulous these dogs are, and I will link this down below for you. But in this video I would like to talk about the differences between pet dogs and street dogs, so if you think about adopting one or another, you basically have a guidance and are a bit better prepared and can do your research. And to take this answer away already, street dogs can make amazing pet dogs. As you can see here, they can be super cuddly and they're just amazing dogs. So yes, you totally can have a street dog as a pet dog. However, there are differences you do want to keep in mind when adopting one of them. So I mentioned it already in the intro. The first difference is that pet dogs are often bred dogs. So there are about 420 dog breeds. So usually a pet dog is one of these breeds, or a mixture of these kind of breeds. And this could be a cross, so this could be something like a schnoodle or a doodle, and this would be then a designer breed that is mixed, or it could be a mix from local whatever other breeds there are around. So for example, like Rambo, he's a mix of an Amstaff and Staffy mainly. However, he has a bit of Bull Terrier in as well, a bit of Spaniel in him. So these are all like the typical breeds. These dogs here are non-bred, so these are dogs that are all over the world quite similar in how they look. My dogs have different colors, but they are very, very similar in their appearance, also in their characteristics, despite obviously having individual differences because they are their own individuals. So these dogs have been kind of like bred without the doing of humans. So they have been bred by natural selection, they have bred themselves in human-centered environments very often, if they are not from somewhere in the wild or in villages where there's basically no city around. But very often these dogs, if they're street dogs, they live with the humans some way or another, not domesticated as pets, but they live close to humans. They basically depend on humans and their food waste to survive. I would like to mention as well at this point that not every pet dog has been bred responsibly, and please, if you consider getting a pet dog who is a breed dog, then please do your research and don't buy with a puppy mill or from a puppy farm or pet shop. And I will link another video down below why this is a really bad idea. But yeah, please do your research, go to a breeder who is qualified, who has the welfare of the animals top of their mind as a top priority, and also who carries out health checks so you really do know what you get. The second difference between a street dog and a pet dog is that pet dogs have a home or an owner, and street dogs do not have any of these. There might be people who feed these dogs, there might be people who look after them, but they don't wear a collar, they are not been looked after, they're not been taken to the vet for regular checkups, they don't usually have a dog bed, etc. if they are still out on the streets. They might live with people who are outside or have them as free roaming kind of dogs. So there's sometimes some street dogs are free roaming, but the proper like street dogs, they don't have any home or they don't belong to anyone, but they might be looked after by the community. So in short, this means that these dogs are not and have not been domesticated. However, there might be sometimes stray dogs on the streets who have had an owner in the past. And there's a separate video as well about the difference between stray dogs and street dogs, so I will link this down below as well. Then the third difference is that pet dogs often, well, if you are a responsible dog owner, and I will link another video about responsible dog ownership down below, but yeah, if you're a responsible dog owner, you will make sure that your dog has regular health checks and is vaccinated, etc. So your dog does not carry disease or can get diseases, etc. that are preventable. These dogs here don't have any of this. Obviously, when they are adopted and when they become pet dogs, they go through the health checks and they get all the vaccinations they need also in order to even fly abroad. However, they don't have any of this, and neither do they get fed regularly. Even if someone is providing them food sometimes, or if someone is providing them water. My dogs are from the Middle East, so it's really hot, and they do need people to look after them when it's really warm, to provide them food and water, especially water if it's really hot. However, these dogs do not get in the wild fed regularly. When you have a pet dog, then you obviously feed them regularly, you give them food, you buy proper dog food. These dogs here would scavenge for food, so they would basically go to the bin, go to the trashes and go through human waste and find what they can eat. So they are very different when it comes to like their diet. They obviously eat now dog food, so they can switch to normal like dog food, and as I said, if they become pet dogs then this changes a lot. However, they are less like wolves. They are more proper food scavengers who are used to eating whatever humans eat, like the scraps of human food, etc. Then the fourth difference is that these dogs, if they are out in the wild, not anymore if they have a home, if they have been looked after and loved. However, if they are out in the wild, if they are on the street, they do have a lower lifespan than normal pet dogs. And the average lifespan for dogs on the street is said to be about 3 years. They have very low puppy survival rates, and they always like keep breeding. So there's obviously no control, even if there are some of them spayed and neutered. There's still so many who basically breed freely and who are only more or less limited by the resources that there are, so how many dogs can survive. Also obviously depend a bit on how supportive is the environment. If they are being seen as somewhat dirty or unwanted, then it's a bit more tricky for them. But if they are in countries where people value them and look after them, then it's a bit more easy for them if they are fed by the normal population. And the last point I would like to make is that these dogs, while they are absolutely adoptable and they are trainable and they are lovable and they are super loyal, and as you can see, like, they are super cuddly, at least most of them. Both of mine are, but if Chalkie sleeps, he just likes to be left alone, but Panda just loves a cuddle. And while all of these things they are, and you can train a street dog, and there's actually some videos on how I train Panda. However, they are not been bred to be working dogs or bred for high obedience or to be very obedient, etc. So they are different than your pet dog, and you might want to go with a different approach. And chances are that they have some trauma, that they're generally a bit more fearful, that they also need to trust you, and they are primitive breeds. So they are quite similar to other primitive breeds like a Pharaoh Hound, a Chow Chow, a Husky, etc., who basically do need to be willing to cooperate in order to be trainable. So you might want to account for a bit more time when you train these dogs. Also, even if you get them as a puppy, there might be some time until they arrive in your country if you drop them from abroad, and there might be some time until they're ready to travel to your country where you are. So this might all take a bit longer. However, they are absolutely trainable and they are absolutely adorable and lovely. And I will link a video down below what the main differences are if you decide to adopt locally or if you decide to adopt from abroad, what I have done with my two. And you can check this out if you like. And you can check out the video right here about the differences between adopting locally or from abroad, as well as 7 things I wish I would have known before adopting a street dog.